cool. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to use Boolean searches to make 6 figures a year, or let's say 10, 20, 30,000 pounds every single month. The sky really is the limit. Now, what is a Boolean search? So a Boolean search is something that looks like this. I don't know where I'm going to put it on the screen, but here somewhere, right? That's what it looks like, okay? It looks like a mathematical equation. And in fact, it is a little bit of a mathematical equation. You do need to be, I guess, somewhat smart to use Boolean searches, but as long as you just understand the principles of what it is, then you are going to find it quite easy. Now, so what is a Boolean search? A Boolean search, I guess, is a search string that you're putting into, you can put it into LinkedIn, you can use it on the job boards, you can use it in your own CRM system, and it, in essence, is a way of picking up particular keywords and finding those keywords in something, right? In this case, we're talking about CVs. So you can go to a job board, for example, and type in a Boolean search string, and you can find the right type of people that you're looking for. Now, some people, I guess the reason why this is important is because if you know how to do this properly, and the reason why I say that if you know how to do this, then you can make those 10, 20, 30,000 pounds every single month, because not every recruiter knows how to do this, right? So even everything on my channel, like, not everybody knows these things that I'm saying. And so this is one thing that is, this was taught to me very early on, probably my first or second day as a recruiter. But most of the market, most recruiters don't know how to do this. Do you get it? Most companies don't know how to do this when they're recruiting. So if you do know how to do this, that gives you that competitive advantage and that edge. Why? Because it's going to allow you to find people that other companies, other recruiters aren't going to be able to find. It's going to also make sure that the people that you speak to first are going to be the most relevant for the roles that you're recruiting for, right? So if there's two recruiters, one is just doing a normal search string and one is doing a Boolean search string, no doubt the person that's doing the Boolean search string is going to make more money or have a higher chance of filling that position and finding the right person and doing it quicker because they've done the search string in this particular way. So let's get into it. First concept that I want to introduce you to is a concept called BODMAS, right? So this is where the maths comes into it. So BODMAS, let's put something in here, there, somewhere. BODMAS means brackets order, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, right? So BODMAS, I don't know, it's going to be somewhere. So BODMAS is the way that you calculate within a formula, right? So, for example, if you had in brackets 2 plus 2, close brackets, and then you did times 5, how do you work that out, right? Or let's do it the other way around. 5 times bracket 2 plus 2, close bracket. How do you work that out? Do you do the 5 times 2, 10, and then plus 2, and there's 12? Or how do you do this? Of course, you go to what's within the brackets first, right? So that's where the B comes in, BODMAS. The first thing you work out is the B. So, is the thing in the brackets. So you'd work out 2 plus 2 is 4, and then you do 5 times 4, which is 20, right? So the Boolean search strings work in a similar fashion in the sense of they follow that logic of BODMAS, right? Pardon me. So really within Boolean search strings, you're just looking at brackets and or. All right, so bracket and or, right? So those are the three things that you need to really worry about when it comes to your Boolean search strings. So what you want to do is you want to, and also speech marks. So the way that it works is you want to put in the keywords that are relevant to the role that you're recruiting for or the type of person that you want to find in such a way that it gives you options. So it gives you multiple options for the type of people to find, but it's also very specific, right? So let's just give an example now, right? So say, for example, I'm just going to bring something up. Let's say Java developer. I love a Java developer example. So jobs, Java developer. So here's a role that I've just seen on Google now, junior Java developer. Development and configuration of new Java-based software applications on the basis of detailed specification, designing, coding, and debugging of applications, defining and document. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking, like, no, I'm not going to look at any of these things. All I'm going to look for, okay, it's a junior Java developer role. So what do they say they want? Okay, so here's the technology codes that they want: knowledge of front-end technologies, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, back-end systems, database technology, MySQL, Oracle, testing tools, JMUnit, Mockito, etc. So like most technical roles are really easy to find. So people think that, oh, it's really high technical role, software engineer. How can I do that? I don't know anything about software. And it's so easy, right? They've literally told you what keywords to search for, right? So this is a junior role. So actually, probably, you just need to type in Java developer, and anyone who's within the budget, just chuck them across, and they'll probably get the role. All this other stuff is most likely just what they would have to learn, and if they have experience, then great. But anyway, so if you wanted to be quite specific on this, so it says knowledge of. This is probably not a good example. Let's go with something where it's like they definitely want these skill sets. All right, required skills. Easy then. So full SDLC experience using Agile and DevOps methodologies. Right, boom. So what we would do is we would type in Java developer, or software engineer, or software developer. I think that's all right. Front-end engineer, maybe. We can just chuck in, right? So you want to have those job titles in brackets, right? So a big bracket around that. Then you want to have speech marks on the specific term. So like Java developer, it should be in speech marks. And the reason for the speech marks is the speech marks say, I want an exact match of this. I don't want anything that's similar to this. I want to see this exact term the way I've written it in on a CV, right? So you want to put all those three. And why do you put those three? Because someone on the CV might not write Java developer as their job title. Someone might write software engineer and keep themselves quite broad. Because they don't know how recruiters work, and they think, well, if I put software engineer, then it's better than putting a Java developer. But ultimately, it just makes your life as a recruiter a little bit more tricky. So that's why you need to include it in there. Same thing, you add software developer because it might be that, and so you have those three, and you have an or in between them. So you're saying, I want to find exactly this term, Java developer, or I want to find exactly this term, software engineer, or I want to find exactly this term, software developer. Not all of three of them together, one of them. Right, so that's in one bracket. So it looks at that bracket and says, okay, cool, that's our starting point. We need to find all of this. Cool. So it'll find all the CVs with that, right? But then you have another string after that. So you have that in brackets, and you want to type in and. So the and is like a plus, right? You're saying, I definitely want to see also whatever I'm about to tell you, right? And then you can have, for example, you can type in agile, right? So you can type in and agile. Cool. They definitely need to have agile, right? There's no two ways of saying agile, right? So it is what it is. Cool. We just keep that one term, put it in speech marks, just to make sure that it doesn't bring up words like agility. Someone has on their CV, I work with a lot of agility, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that they've worked in an agile way. So just put it in there the way that it is. Then you've got stuff like Pulsar, Kafka, Think, AWS, public script model, event streaming platform. So yeah, maybe I'll just put those in: Pulsar, Kafka, Flink, or AWS. I mean, they've kind of written it how you would want to write it in the Boolean search string in the job description itself. So you have each one of those, speech mark around it, put it in a bracket, and then put an or in between all of those. So what it's then going to do is it's going to say, right, so this Java developer or software engineer or software developer that also definitely has the word agile on their CV, and also definitely has one of the words of Pulsar, Kafka, Flink, or AWS. It has one of those. And so it's going to find combinations of all of these things, and it's going to present it to you based on the relevancy. Or you can change the filter on it to sort it by whatever you want. But that's what it really is. So that's why it's really, really important to make sure that you're doing the Boolean search strings, because if you don't do that and you just type in Java developer, pardon me, and type in these other things, it's like you're not telling the system exactly what you want, and so ultimately you're going to miss out on opportunities, and you're going to waste a lot of time, which is going to make you miss out on opportunities again. The way to make money in business is by being competitive, right? And how do you remain competitive? Time, cost, quality, right? How quickly can you provide those CVs? What is the quality of those CVs that you provide? And then you can obviously talk about cost, but we're expensive, but it's because of the value that we provide, and that's explained through our process, and that's what justifies it for us. So ultimately, the cost is fine, even though we're more expensive, because the time and quality was more important. The cost is less important, and they're happy paying me more than they are paying you. Because I would have given them a better process in a short amount of time. So you might have worked on a role for 2 months, charging 12%, and not actually making 12% because you never actually placed anybody there. I come along and 2-3 weeks later, and I've placed somebody at 25% because boom, I just did it in 3 weeks. I know the people, or if I don't know the people, I know how to find the people very, very quickly, and then I can get them across. Obviously, I know how to control them. I know how to do all those things to persuade them and convince them to take the role that I'm offering. And if it's not right, then I just put the phone down, walk away, find the next person, we move on. The next person on the list will also just be as relevant. So that's it really on this video. I hope that's helped and explained it. Obviously in my coaching program, I have a whole module on the Boolean search string. We'll go into things in a bit more detail with a lot more examples, and I think it just it breaks things down in a nicer way. I've obviously spent more time on that than I have on this video. This is just a quick one to bang out just to give you guys an explanation. But if you do want to join that coaching program, links in the description below. To actually just book a coaching call with me, because I don't want to take on everybody. What I've noticed, actually, this can sound really harsh, but I've noticed that certain ethnic groups and ethnic backgrounds all come with like similar traits. So like when I speak to a certain type of demographic, they come back at me with like very similar things, and I think to a big extent people shoot themselves in the foot because they just think, I don't know, they might like someone more, right? They might think that guy's a nicer guy, or I can connect with him more because he's American, for example, right? And this is a great example. Because I've just said, well, now you're British, so it must be different. I'm like, well, love, like I do deals in Houston, Texas. You know what I mean? I do deals in Austin, Texas. Like I do deals in California. I do deals. I was going to say New York, but nah, forget that. That was just a one time I did. And look, ultimately, I think it doesn't matter. Right? This process is what works. Right? And I just want to say to people that don't think about whether you like me or not. But don't think about, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know. I don't know. But there's a lot of people that, when I talk to them, they're just shooting themselves in the foot because they've got, like, I don't know, they might just not like the way that I talk or the way that I look, or maybe there's this, maybe I haven't built enough trust with them, which is fair enough. But what I would say is, if you're watching this video and you've got this far and you're still listening to me rant on and ramble on here, and you haven't joined the program and you're thinking about joining the program, then it's just like, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Okay, don't shoot yourself in the foot. I'm here to help people, but my help's not going to be here forever. Like my coaching program won't be there forever. My course, the course itself, yeah, that'll live on. But I won't also be there to actually coach you along that process as well. Will you make money just from the course alone? Yeah, definitely. I definitely think so. Right? You don't need me, but what I do on top of that with the coaching calls is just like I give you very like specific real-time live advice to help you through it, and that's invaluable. And if you don't think that that is worth your investment, your money, good luck to you, no problem. It makes no difference to me. That's what you need to realize. It makes no difference to me, but it'll make a world of a difference to you. It'll change your life, and I can say I've changed people's lives through this coaching program. So if you also want your life changed, first of all, you need to understand if you have a problem or not. So if you don't realize that you have a problem, then that's a big problem. But if you realize that you've got a problem, then, and it's a problem that you want to fix, then you have two ways of going about it, right? You either learn from someone who's done it and take their method, or you just trial and error for years, right? And you'll never know if that's the right thing or not. That's just harsh reality of life. So winners are going to win because they're going to invest in themselves, and they're going to see, where knowledge is presented, where you can outsource that trial and error, right? That's really what it is. You're outsourcing 30 years of trial and error, because I come from an organization which is 30 years old, and they trained me to be the way that I am today. And ever since then, I've been making six figures every single year. It's just a process that I follow now, right? And that's in my own business. And if you want to do this for yourself in your own business, you can take that formula. I've created the platform, the program for you to actually just take that knowledge, that trial and error, that experience has been filtered down, boiled down, and it's just, hey, do this. And that's why this company has thousands of people working for them, because they have this process that they've taught to people. And I've taken that process, I've added my own personality to it, if you will, my own flavor to it, and I've broken it down in a way that is a million times better than it was ever even taught to me, because it was taught to me by people that hadn't actually done the job, or maybe they did the job for a few years, and they weren't that good, or they didn't like it, whatever. I love this, I love this. I do this. I'm very, very good at this. And one of the things I enjoy is teaching people. I love training people. I love teaching people. When people say to me, "You changed my life," how many people can say, who are watching this and still to this point, can say that you've changed a person's life, you've changed a person's legacy? This guy wasn't earning nothing, and now he's earning the same in a month, right? So, yeah. That's about it. I rambled on for a little while. Thanks so much. So, share, subscribe, like.